Greetings, one and all. I've been meaning to do this for a long time. I'm finally getting round to it, and I'm only going to do it once. So you might want a cup of tea. The TC.HELICON Ultimate Mic Stand Mount Vocal Processor. Okay, comes in a box. Here's the empty box. Loads of stuff on it, so interesting to read in the shop. Can't remember what's inside, or the processor isn't. You get a few bits and bobs with it. There's a quick start manual. Stuff's online, of course. That was the power supply. More on that later. They give you a cable, instructions down there. I carry it around in this. I'm not quite sure what this is. I think it might be a soap bag of some kind. But I think it works very well. Let me show you. Here's the item, which we're going to have a look at close up in just a minute. And I managed to keep also in here the power supply and a cable extension. More on that later. Cable extension for the power supply. And in the back pocket, well, guess what fits rather nicely? Yes, you all know it. Me Earthworks. Here it is with everything inside. Ready to rock. Swing. Shout. Whatever. Turn up with just that. Got the sounds I know, reverb settings, stuff. We'll look at it in a minute. Everything mic in there. Let's have a look at it. Here it is next to an SM58, so you get an idea of the size. About the same width. It's not heavy, you don't have to hand hold it anyway. Stand mounting, which I'll show you in a minute. Side, underside, not much to see there. Some rubber pads, so it can sit on a desktop. Go through what's at the back here. Power socket in, USB, auxiliary stereo, so you can put your tracks in there. Pedal socket, mic out, mic in. So you plug your mic into there, out there to the desk, or your amp or whatever. On the top, some of these are multifunction and I don't use all of them. So that's the mic set button. I believe it also does the level of the brightness. I'll show you all this. Doubling, 3 lots of different doublings which you can select with this knob. 3 different reverbs you can select. Echo, which you can select. Headphone volume. Forgot to say, it's headphone socket, small headphone socket on the front. Tap, tempo, sort of rubberized pads which light up, you'll see. Torque, when you hit torque, cuts all the effects. Greater, you just hit it again. Little mic input there, so it does sense the music. I'm not sure what that's for. I think it's for the harmonies, which I've never tried, but I've read it does its best to work things out from that microphone there. These are your presets. 48 volt phantom power, on and off. You have to hold it for a while, so it doesn't just, you can't knock it and just suddenly cut your mic. Pitch correction, yes folks, auto-tune. Anti-feedback, which I've never tried. Tone, which is their adaptive EQ, compression, mastering, vocal mastering type sound, which I do use with certain mics and in certain situations. That's it in its dead state. I'll show you how it fits on the stand. This is a K&M stand, a standard stand. K&M could make German. So you have your slots there. This is kind of rubbery. So you line your slots up so it fits there, and then you give it a twist. Job done. To take it off, twist the other way. Back on again. Oops. Back off. Pretty good, huh?
The first part of the videos
the video was on the camera mic. I'm now on the road and going into the audio interface. Sorry about the trains and stuff. Got the door open. It's summer. Before I do what I want to do next, let me just show that there's a foot pedal, in case I forget. You can get this foot pedal, which is surprisingly, I'm not going to complain, I like things well built. And has you have to get yourself a stereo wired jack. Wired this one up myself, nice nitric right angle connectors. What this means is you can assign it to various buttons, and you can, if you don't want, if you've got it on the mic stand, then you don't want to keep touching, maybe you're playing guitar, you can do the tap tempo with that. I don't know what I've got them set for. I think that one nearest me is torque, so that kills everything. That one's doubling, because I don't use doubling much. But when you do, not doubling, echo, but it is nice to have it on some things, just on the end of some phrases or something. So I can switch the doubling on there. I can set the tap tempo, and then just use the doubling when I want it. So there's a foot switch, which is available. What I'm after now, what I'm interested in is, for years I've been interested in this kind of thing, is what happens on this TC.HELICON, is the vocal signal untouched? Is it analog all the way through, and then the digital side chain, which is mixed back in? Or I would imagine that your voice is immediately converted digitally, and then everything is done in the digital domain, and then reconverted on the way out. So I thought, let's have a listen and see if we can see if it does anything when it's switched on, but nothing is engaged. So it should be straight through. This is unscientific. I've got these two Beyerdynamic M400s. They were from a set of 10 in America, which they bought for measuring. So they tested all 10 when they got them and made sure they were the same. And then they've been stored, you can see, in an untouched condition, it seems. And they were stored away when they weren't in use. And then they could just take them out and use them for doing whatever scientific thing they were doing. And they knew that the mics were matched. And I guess every now and then they'd test them. So here's a pair. I've tested them myself. I can't hear any difference between them. I've got one of them going straight into the desk. The other is going through the TC.HELICON with no effects engaged at all. It's on torque without the tone. And I'm going to see if we can hear a difference. Do I know which is which? So the road is going off. I'm going to get rid of the road now. Which one am I on? I'm on this one. And let me get my fingers in the right place. So this is one of them. 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 This is the other. 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 Back on the original one. Back on the original one. There's a giveaway immediately. Sorry. There's a giveaway immediately, which is the hiss. And you've guessed correctly that the hiss is from TC.HELICON. It's bound to add some noise, I guess. So we're going to try to ignore that. 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 I don't want to influence you. But I feel I may as well say, and I could be wrong, so you need headphones and stuff to listen to this. What I'm sensing, 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 I'm on the TC.HELICON. It's a little bit grainier to my ears. It's not as clear to my ears. What about the bottom end there? What about the bottom end? Damn, pressed the wrong thing. What about the bottom end there? There, there, there. There, there, there. There, there. Inconclusive, I'd say. Live, going through whatever you're going through. I doubt you're going to hear that. 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 There's a little bit grainier up there. To my ears. To my ears. Ears. It's difficult because there's that hiss in the background. Well, I hope you're ready. You might need another cup of tea because I'm only going to do this once. It's switched off. I'm going to plug it in so you can see the boot up. Hopefully I've muted it. Yeah, I'm on the road at the minute. So I'm going to plug it in now. I hope the camera doesn't wobble. I've got it set up rather precariously. I think I've set things up audio-wise. Let's switch the phantom power off for the minute. So phantom is off. That is your signal level. So that flashed because the earthworks is phantom powered and it makes noises. So always have phantom powered mics muted when you're unplugging and plugging. So you put the phantom power off. I just press it once. For a short duration, nothing happens. You have to hold it, which is good. Phantom's on. It's going through its thing. Seems to have settled down. So let's just see if I can remember. It's this one. This one. Now I'm on the earthworks, and I've just killed the road. So talk. There we are with a talk. So nothing's happening. Let's just go through. May as well start in order. You can select whatever you want. It's off at the moment because I'm on talk. You can save them to whichever patch you want. But I'll just go through the sounds. I'm going to take talk off. So that's the doubling, which you can hear there. I can alter the amount quite easily with one hand. I just hold it down. And then there's loads of it, or there's less of it. Hardly any. If I keep turning, it goes a different color, you'll notice. So that's maximum. And now I've got a different kind of doubling. Turn that up, turn that up, turn that up. I don't know if you can hear that's got some low end stuff going on, octave below I think. Another kind of doubling, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. What's that one? I think that's got something higher. Oh yes, got something higher going on. And then this one is what? Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. Up. Don't know. Here's back to the first one. Turn it up, about there. That's doubling, so I've got that set on 1 now. If I want, I can switch it off. We'll go to, he says, switch it off. Go to the reverb. Now I'm on a reverb here. Again, hold the reverb down, and you can have more of it, more of it, more of it, more of it, more of it. When you get to maximum, keep turning, and I've got a different kind of reverb, got more of a kind of slight slapback thing going on. More of it. On to the next one. The next one sounds like a room to me. Room. Keep turning. And this one is like a bright room, perhaps. Back to the first one, which is a long reverb. Excuse me. Switch the reverb off. Echo. Same deal with the echo, hold it down. More of the echo. With the tap. 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 Go somewhere in the middle. Keep turning it. Keep turning it. Different type of echo. That's more slapback. Notice that the tap button isn't lit because you can't alter the tap rate. It's just a kind of slapback echo. Going on to this next one. Longer. Again, tap is lit. Tap is lit. Tap is lit. Tap is lit. Moving on to this one, which seems to be half speed. Is it? Is it half speed? Is it half speed? Is it half? No, it's not. So actually, as you can probably tell, I'm not sure which ones I use now. So if I wanted all three, then I could, that automatically remembers it's patch 1. Go to patch 2, I've got shorter reverb on there. So what I take then, patch 3, I've got, I use that for a certain thing, I'll show you later. So what I tend to do is in patch 1, I tend to have, not the doubling, a long reverb, pressing the wrong thing, a long reverb, so maybe for ballads, and then I just go to patch 2, I've got a shorter reverb for quicker songs. If I want more of it or less of it, I can just reach down and add a bit more. That's how I use it for that part. This is your headphone thing here, so you just press that and it alters the volume of the headphone in and out. Sorry, this is all over the place. Set, I've got to be a bit careful with this because we might end in feedback territory. I think if you just press it once, you get, yes, this was a firmware update. You can adjust the brightness because it was always on maximum. It's quite bright. So if you hold it, watch out here. If we hold it, now I've got, yeah, that's the mic input. If I start creeping up, you can hear the earthworks without going into red. There, I tend to keep on 2 to 3, because it's very, very high output. This can handle it. Incidentally, the phantom power is sufficient, The phantom power is sufficient for the earthworks. So the earthworks demands a full Monty, and some pedals can't provide the power. It doesn't like it. This can, it seems. And when I'm using the ribbon mics, which are very low output, I have to have the mic gain right the way to the top. So it just about handles the earthworks and it handles the ribbons, so it's got enough to handle all that. Let's get on to some of the other things then. Tone. I'm going to leave the effects off because I've got talk. The tone operates when you're on talk. The idea being that when you want to speak, it's not an effect as such, but when you want to speak, you might still need it. So here's what happens when I press the tone. Here's what happens when I press the tone. Here's what happens when I press the tone. It ruined me earthworks, innit? What happened to the bottom end? Gone. Bring the earthworks in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bring the earthworks in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Take the tone off. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I find the earthworks doesn't need the tone. I never use it, but I have used it because sometimes if there's a lot of noise or you've got a very muddy sounding PA, the tone just adds a bit of, doesn't make it any louder, but it enables it to cut through. And there's some compression going on as well. And they say de-essing, and they also say, obviously the bottom end has been removed, pop. They're trying to reduce the pops. I want to reduce the pops myself. I don't want a machine do it in it. So it adds, let's see if we can hear the compression. Going to be a bit louder and then quiet, a bit louder and then quiet, a bit louder, not moving the mic, just voice-wise. A bit louder and quiet, a bit louder and quiet, a bit louder and quieter, take tone off. A bit louder and quieter, a bit louder and quieter, a bit louder and quieter. Louder, quieter, louder, quieter, louder, quieter, louder, quieter, louder, quieter, louder. Can you hear that? Got some compression going on as well. It's okay. Sometimes you can hear, your ears get very used to it, and when you switch it off, it starts to sound muddy, but it isn't. Anti-feedback, I'll switch it on. Pointless because it's on headphones. But there is an anti-feedback. I don't know how it works. I've never used it. Pitch. Pitch. Yes. Let me put some pitch on. Now, will the pitch be working with this? Probably not. So, get rid of the reverb. Now I've got pitch. I can't really hear it. It's very subtle. I'll show you later. I think it does make a difference. So this is like a gentle pitch correction. Gentle, too many croissants you can hear. Sorry about that. Woo! Is that it? I think that's pretty much it. In the back here, you can plug in. Oh, I haven't done it. Oh, because I got it in the desk. You can plug in your MP3 player into the back. You get that in stereo through the headphones along with this. So you can practice along with it, and that's what I use it for as well. It just makes it a bit more fun, a bit more interesting. So if I put this track on, we'll see what we get. This is the backing track from YouTube, which is Sunny in A minor. Now, I'm sorry, I can't remember the person who did it, but I use it for sort of practicing with students and for singing along. So if you check it out on YouTube, it's Sunny A minor. It's got a white background with the chords. Sorry, I didn't get the name. So if I'm just doing things there without anything on, I'm doing things without anything, gonna put the let's go there. Got a little bit of reverb, as you can get a little bit of reverb. Shall I put a bit more? Shall I put a little bit more of the reverb? Gonna have maybe a bit much there. Bring it back down to there. Shall I add some doubling? Gonna add some doubling. Gonna add some doubling. Yes, I've added some doubling. I've added. What about a bit of echo? First of all, I'm gonna tap in time. First of all, I'm gonna tap in time. Then first of all, I'm gonna tap in time. Then I'm gonna tap in time. Can't hear it, so gonna turn it up. Gonna turn it up. It's a fast one. It's a fast one. Turn it on to the next one. What have we got? I turn it on to the next one, what have we got? I turn it on to the next one, what have we got? That one is a slap back. Turn it on to the next one, what have I got on the echo? What have I got? Back to there. That's the one I tend to use. One I tend to use. One I tend to use. Gonna put the tone on, get rid of that, and just a little reverb. That's a shorter reverb, maybe. Yeah, that's a shorter reverb. Gonna try the tone on there. Can you hear what the tone does there? Can you hear what the tone does in the compression? A little bit of compression, a little bit of compression, a little bit of compression. Yes, on there now. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna take that off, and now let's see what happens with the pitch. What I notice, I'm gonna take the reverb off. What I notice with the pitch is when the pitch is on. Oh, what I notice with the pitch is on. Oh, what I notice when the pitch is on. Oh, what I notice when the pitch is on. What I notice when the pitch is on. Oh, what I notice when the pitch is on. Oh, what I notice when the pitch is on. What I know, the pitch is off now. I said the pitch is off, the pitch is off, the pitch is off, the pitch is off. I don't know if I can hear. Pitch is back on there, then the pitch is on. Gonna use a bit of tone there as well. It has a little bit of that when you can hear what you're doing. You can hear the side. Oh. I think that's basically it. This one I tend to use if I'm doing any scatting, just to try and make it a bit like a guitar or something. So this has got, I don't know what it's got, all three of them. Oh, God. Okay, I'm on the camera mic. To sum up then, just a few things. What do I like about it? And what do I think might be an improvement? Well, I like the concept. And I think it's well executed. Couple of things then. Call me fussy. Power supply. Comes with a bit you slide in because of the different countries. Somehow or other they sent me the wrong one once, and it's very difficult to get these separately that fit all sorts. There seem to be, you've got to get the right one, this little slide out bit there for the UK or, well, this is, if you will, the wrong way round. In England, with plugs, that's the earth at the top and the cable comes out at the bottom. The reason that I mention that is if you've got one of these, sometimes you've got an extension with where they face each other, then this one obscures the other socket, so your two-way extension just becomes a one. There's some other circumstances up underneath if you're quite close to cupboards and things, though you can use it on a gig, but sometimes that gets in the way because things are designed obviously to have the cable coming out of there. But the option in a extension cable is that can be an irritation sometimes. Secondly, I don't think it's really long enough. Hey, I don't think it's really long enough. By the time this is on the mic stand, this, I'm going to say just about reaches, it does reach the floor, but it means it's going to be quite near your feet. You can't get far enough away. It doesn't give you many options. So I bought this, which is perhaps just a tad too long, but doesn't matter. And it just extends the mains cable. This plugs in the back of the... So I could do with, that would be nice if it was the other way round, and it would be nice if this was twice as long. 2.5 times as long, perhaps. What else? EQ. Yeah, the adaptive EQ, compression, mastering if you like. The reduction of the bass, I know maybe it's just me, but I could do without that. You can beam effects into it from your phone. There's an app, and it makes a noise and you hold it up to the microphone. It's like back in the old days. I can't remember what it was. It was like MIDI or something. You do it on tape and it made a garbled noise. And it reads that, and you can add things to it. And I've looked a little bit at that. I'm happy with what it's got. If they made a way of downloading some different EQ settings, that would be nice. But it's okay as it is. Reset and update. Okay. Basically, it seems to me it's a computer. And it does a few computer-like things every now and then. And not very often. I've used it a lot. I've got 2 of them. One I use at the BRIT School, I leave it there, and the other one I use it pretty much on every gig actually. And so sometimes you might need to reset. I can't remember what you do. I think you have to hold these 2 down or something. I can't remember which 2 when you plug it in, and it resets it, and maybe flash the firmware again. Every now and then, slight sort of a computer-like behavioural things where it doesn't quite do the same thing it did last time. Maybe just that's just the way things are. I do find it a very good teaching tool because, so with students, a lot of them are not very familiar with reverb and a few of these effects that are well chosen, I think. And so this is very easy. You can see which one it is. And I can say to them, well, you've got your reverb, adjust it yourself, because I'm always doing it. So do you want more or less? So I show them, just hold that down, turn a bit more. Can you hear the long one gets in the way in a fast song because it's got a long tail, so you might need a shorter one. So a very good teaching tool, I find. The way it's laid out, very clear and simple. As I said, it can handle the earthworks, and the ribbon is 160, 170 pounds in England. I think it's pretty good. You know, the bit about the hiss and the sound not being exactly the same, well, you can spend over that just on a mic preamp. So, and it's aimed for live use. I think, as I said before, the idea is very good. I think the execution of it is very good. I think everything very well chosen. Operation excellent. For what it's designed to be, it's like your own mic preamp that you take with you. You've got your phantom power if you've got condenser mics. I'm very pleased with it. I don't give marks out of 10 really, but it did occur to me that this is pushing up to 10 for what it is, I think. It's pushing up towards 10 out of 10, so try it out for yourself.